Hey, my name is Milan, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build a custom domain event dispatcher that you can use inside of your applications. As I am moving away from MediatR, I had to implement the publish-subscribe functionality myself, so in this video I'm going to share how I did it. But before we get into our custom implementation, let's first understand how the MediatR version works. So there are two concepts that you have to understand. The iNotification handler, which is the actual handler interface, and then there is the actual iNotification interface that is just a marker interface that your notification types should implement. So I have two types here, the user-registered domain event handler and the user-registered domain event. The domain event is implementing my custom IDomainEvent interface, which in turn implements the iNotification interface from MediatR. So this is how I can use my custom interface to mark domain events and depend on the IDomainEvent interface instead of using the MediatR abstraction. However, to connect my domain events with a respective domain event handler, I still have to resort to using an iNotification handler. I could have wrapped this with a custom interface that implements iNotification handler, but I didn't. So in this video, I'll have to do something of that sort in order to achieve the same functionality. So that's the high-level picture. Now, how am I using my domain events? Well, I have this interface, which I implement in a couple of concrete types, and then I have a raise method on my domain entities that allow me to raise a specific domain event. You could also raise this domain event as part of a method on your entity or aggregate. It doesn't really matter. What happens inside of this method is I just append the domain event to an internal list of objects. The second component is publishing the domain events, which I do inside of my database context, and I override the SaveChangesAsync method. And then we have to decide when we want to publish our domain events. You can publish it before or after calling save changes. I prefer doing it after calling save changes, which means my original transaction completes and then I publish my domain events. This means that my handlers are going to run in a separate transaction, my system is going to be eventually consistent, and my handlers can fail, so I have to account for this. Most of these problems can be solved using the outbox pattern, which I discussed in a couple of my videos, so you're welcome to go ahead and check that out. Now, what I don't want to change is how I'm currently using my domain events. So anything that I implement as part of this video should not force me to make any significant changes to my application code. So make sure to keep that in mind as we go through our implementation. And I'm going to start from the IDomainEvent interface. And what I'm going to do here is simply remove my reference to MediatR. So going forward, I'm only going to have the IDomainEvent interface as my custom marker interface for the domain events, and you can see that my implementations are unaffected by this. This is because the previous iNotification interface also didn't have any members inside. However, the iNotification handler is now going to break because it expects my concrete type to be an iNotification implementation, which it is not. So what do I have to do? Well, we need to define our custom domain event handler interface. So let me go ahead and add that right under the domain event. And I'm going to say IDomainEventHandler. It's going to be a generic type, so I'm just going to mark it with a T, and I need a generic constraint that the T is going to be an IDomainEvent, and inside of it I'm going to paste just one method which I copied from my previous implementation, and I'm going to remove the body, and this is going to be an async method, so it's going to return a task. I'm going to call it handle, and I have to use my generic argument T, and I'm going to call this argument the domain event. Now let's go ahead and move this into its own file, and we have to update our implementation. So instead of implementing iNotification handler, I'm going to implement my IDomainEvent handler, and I'm going to rename this to domain event to be consistent with my interface. Now, other than that, I don't have to change anything else because this was a dummy implementation and I didn't have any functionality inside. However, I will create an additional implementation just for demonstration purposes because we are allowed to have more than one domain event handler for a single domain event. And I want to be able to test that we support this functionality. So what do we have to do next? Well, the next step is going to be registering our domain event handlers with dependency injection. If we go back to how we achieve this with our queries and our commands, or to be more precise, the query and command handlers, we use Cruiser to scan our assembly, find any implementations, and then register them as their implemented interfaces with a scoped lifetime. So I can go ahead and do the same thing with my domain event handlers. So I'm going to copy what I had above. Here, I'm going to specify IDomainEventHandler. I'm also going to include any internal types, and I'm going to add them to the service collection as their implemented interfaces with a scoped lifetime. So now this allows me to do a couple of things. The first one is going to be updating my shared kernel project to remove the reference to MediatR contracts, because I'm no longer using this NuGet package. And once I remove this, I should be able to build my shared kernel, and the build should succeed. And you can see that this is the case. Now I'm going to open up my directory packages props and also remove the MediatR contracts NuGet package. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to remove the MediatR NuGet package. Now this is going to cause some compile warnings. You can see that we're getting some errors here, and this is because I'm referencing MediatR, which I don't have in my central package management. So once I remove this, most of the code should compile, except the call to add MediatR, which I'm now going to remove. And as a reminder, this was taking care of registering our request handlers and also including our pipeline behaviors, which we used as decorators. So now I can go ahead and delete those. And I'm also going to remove the pipeline behaviors. In our previous video, we implemented this functionality using the decorator pattern. So now I should also be able to build my application project, and you can see that this is the case. However, if I try to build a solution, I'm going to run into some compile errors. And this is precisely because I removed MediatR, and you can see that it's complaining that the type IPublisher and the MediatR namespace are no longer available. So I'm going to close everything down except the application database context where we have our problem. So I was using MediatR in my database context, or to be more precise, the IPublisher abstraction to publish my domain events. And this is the functionality that we have to implement ourselves. So I'm going to open up my infrastructure project, and let's say I create a domain events folder, and inside of it I'm going to define my dispatcher type. So I'm going to add a new class called DomainEventsDispatcher, and let's see what we're going to define inside. For now, let's just define our public-facing contract. It's going to be a public async method, so it has to return a task, and let's call this method dispatch_async. The arguments are going to be a collection of domain events, so I'm going to specify IDomainEvent as the collection type, and I'm also going to have an optional cancellation token. We're going to tackle the implementation in just a moment, and you're going to see that it's going to be interesting, to say the least. For now, I'll say await task, completed task. So this is going to be my domain events dispatcher abstraction. If you want to be able to dispatch domain events from your application layer, what you could do is right-click your method and say something like refactor, extract, and then extract interface. And this will define an IDomainEventsDispatcher interface. Now I just have to make this public and move it to a place that allows other layers in my system to reference this. Typically, you're going to want to have this in your application layer if you want to be dispatching your domain events from there. For my use case, I'm going to just leave the interface in place and move it into its own file, but I'm going to leave it in the infrastructure layer. Now let's go back to our database context. Here, I was previously publishing my domain events using MediatR, and now I have my custom abstraction, which I can reference using the domain event dispatcher. And now I just have to update my publish domain events method to say await domain events dispatcher dispatch async, and we can pass in the collection of domain events. This allows me to remove my old code, which was depending on MediatR, and instead I'm going to use my new abstraction. So at this point, I should be able to build my entire solution and my build should succeed. However, I still have to implement my domain events dispatcher. So let's focus on that. I'm going to close the remaining files. And what we want to do here is for each of our domain events, we want to find the respective handlers and invoke them. Now, unfortunately, this isn't so simple to do. You'll see why. I'm going to inject an iService provider, and then here's what we can do. I'm going to say domain events for each, and I'm going to loop over my domain events. And for each domain event, I'm going to go ahead and create a service scope by saying service provider create scope. And this will give me an iService scope instance. And this would be a good point to have a discussion about which service lifetime we want to use for our domain event handlers. I opted for using a scoped lifetime, and this means that I need to have a service scope to be able to resolve the domain event handlers. Additionally, I'm also creating a custom scope for each of my domain events, which means they won't share a context if they are running in an existing scope, for example, within an HTTP request. This is something that you should be aware of if you don't want to go down this route. Now, the next problem we have to solve is that we have an IDomainEvent interface here, and what we want to do is invoke the IDomainEventHandler for the concrete implementation of the IDomainEvent interface. And this means that we're going to have to do some reflection. So what I need is to get my concrete handler type that I want to resolve from dependency injection. And you can do this by saying type of IDomainEventHandler, and then you can say make generic type, and you can see I'm getting a code completion here where the generic argument is going to be the type of my domain event. Now, having the handler type is only part of the story. I also need to resolve the concrete handlers from dependency injection. I'm going to do that using my service scope, where I can say service provider get services, and I can't use the generic overload. Instead, I have to specify the handler type that I just created. So this is going to give me back an IEnumerable containing my handlers, and note that these could be null. So let's iterate over this inside of our for each loop. Now, in reality, we shouldn't really get back a null object from dependency injection, but nonetheless, let's take care of this case. So let's say if handler is null, then you can just continue and don't do anything because there's nothing to do with a null handler. Now remember that our object is an implementation of the IDomainEventHandler interface, which means it contains the handle method. So all we have to do is call the handle method on our handler and we're good to go. So if I say handler, handle, and pass in the concrete domain event, I should be able to implement this. However, because we have an object, we aren't able to call the handle method. So we again have to resort to reflection. So let's go back to our handler type. We can say get method and pass in the method name. Now it would be awesome if I can say name of IDomainEventHandler and then specify handle, but because this is a generic type, I can't really do that. So I'm going to just hard code this and pass in handle. And this should give us back the method info for this specific method. Now, obviously, this can also be null if this method doesn't exist. So let's say if method info is not null, then we're going to say method info invoke, and finally we can call our handle method. Let's refactor this to call it the handle method, and to invoke it we have to pass in the object that we are going to use to invoke this method, which is going to be our handler that we resolve from dependency injection, and then we have to pass in an array of arguments, and these are going to be our domain events and the cancellation token. Using collection expressions here is a great way to make our code easier to write, and now I just need to cast the result of the invoke method into a task and finally await it. Now, because this could return null and I'm confident that it's not going to be null, I'm going to use a null forgiving operator here. And this completes our domain events dispatcher. Now I need to register this with dependency injection. So let's go into dependency injection in the infrastructure project, and I'm going to say services add transient IDomainEventDispatcher and specify the concrete domain event dispatcher as the implementation. So now I should finally be able to start my application and test out the custom domain events dispatcher. I'm going to open up the Swagger UI and send a request to register a new user inside of my system, which is going to trigger the user register domain event. So let's send this, and we're going to land on the breakpoint inside of our command handler, where we can proceed to raise the domain event. Now, if we are able to persist this, and you can see that save changes completes, then we're going to go ahead and publish our domain events. Now, currently, I only have one domain event, which is the user register domain event for the newly created user. But remember that we defined 2 domain event handlers for this domain event. So if I go ahead and create my concrete handler type, which is an IDomainEventHandler for the user registered domain event, and resolve this from dependency injection, we're going to get back two services, the user registered domain event handler and the user registered domain event handler 1, which is just a dummy type that I created. So if we go through our handlers collection and extract the handle method, you can see that it's not null. And finally, I can step into the handle method of the respective domain event handler and execute any logic that's inside. If we continue, we're also going to do that for the second domain event handler. And once we complete all of them, we're going to finish the dispatch async method, go back to our database context, and finally complete SaveChangesAsync. So with a couple of additional abstractions, mainly the DomainEventsDispatcher, we were able to replicate what MediatR allowed us to do with its publish-subscribe support. However, the current implementation is far from ideal. We are relying too much on reflection, which is something that I don't like. And one problem is it's going to have an impact on our performance. The second problem is that it's not strongly typed. So a question for you, how would you improve this implementation? If you want to get the final and clean implementation of the DomainEventsDispatcher, go ahead and grab my free clean architecture template from the pinned comment right under this video. Also take a look at my software architecture courses if you want to improve your skills. And until next time, stay awesome.